No, you are not lonely because you are a terrible person, and people who say that have no clue about you and why you are lonely, so you can safely discard their unsubstantiated opinions. Now, I'm sure you have heard of something called the male loneliness epidemic, which is the idea that men nowadays have a harder time having close relationships and that many men are lonely. Now, some people seem to misunderstand it and mix it with the idea that men are lonely because they are terrible misogynists or something. But there are two issues with this idea. One, loneliness does not only include not having relationships with the opposite gender, loneliness is about not having any people who you could hold close to your heart. And two, there are many reasons for someone's loneliness. Maybe they are shy. Maybe their environment is toxic and they cannot find any friends. Maybe they have been hurt by someone and they are not ready to form friendships again, and so on. So there are many reasons for someone to be lonely, and just lumping everyone into the same category of being bad sexist men is quite dishonest and outrageously oversimplified. You can't know why someone is lonely, and just assuming that they are lonely because they are evil is extremely problematic, to say the least. Now, I do think that there is no male loneliness epidemic per se, because I do not think that the loneliness epidemic is something that only affects men. But I do think there is a loneliness epidemic that also affects women. I have a personal belief that one of the reasons for this loneliness epidemic is the rise of AI generated content. I'm sure you have also heard of the dead internet theory, which proposes that the majority of the content on the internet is made by bots, and I do believe that these bots permeating the internet, flooding the comment sections, and artificially inflating hateful content made people distrustful of each other. Also, this isolation and reliance on the internet gave rise to internet scammers and sketchy people. How would you even approach someone you like on the internet without appearing like a bot or a scammer or someone sketchy? I don't know, I feel like it has more to do with this. The final thing I wanted to mention is that being lonely isn't that bad. Like, sure, you definitely need some people to talk to, but even having like 3 to 4 close friends is enough. It's not the quantity but the quality that counts. As Al Capone said, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. This, in my opinion, also applies to relationships. I used to be a loner myself, and I know what it feels like. But now I have a few very cool and dear friends. Not many, but they are of the best quality, the creme de la creme of friends. I don't have a girlfriend as of yet, not because I hate women, but because I just genuinely do not feel any attraction towards people in that way. I think I lost that lovey spark that people feel when they have a crush on someone. But I'm still fine with it, because my life does not revolve around relationships. And it shouldn't. I feel like if I just focus on my hobbies and my goals and to better myself, eventually I will stumble into someone, and even if I won't be mad, because I know I will still have people who care for me, and honestly, I think that's all that matters. You don't need a romantic partner, you just need people who care about your existence and of whose existence you can care about. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this little yap session of mine. Maybe I will make more, maybe. Take care, forgive yourself, and goodbye.